The really cool things about Moxi Present, and by the way, this is JD. By the way, your digital media and technology specialist. If you don't know who I am, um, so one of the cool things about Moxi Present, if you're from Premiere and you haven't really dove into Moxi Present yet, there will be more training on it as a whole tool. And keep in mind, guys, you are, just as a reminder to everybody, you are muted until you got questions. You can unmute or you can use the chat. But one of the cool things is that it's meant to be a listing presentation, right? So let me share my screen with you guys quick, actually, so you can see me. So just as a reminder, I am signed into my.schmidtresources.com, or you can go into the actual Schmidt Resources, click on the Moxi links. I already have that. I have that kind of saved here. You could go to schmidtresources.com, click on the Moxi square, and click on this top button right here, my.schmidtresources.com. So I'm logged in here, and I'm clicking Present across the top bar. So Present is meant as a, originally it was meant as a lecture, or he's not, I got it. So originally it was meant as a listing presentation, right? So I can go in, take my listing, and create a cool presentation for a potential seller, including stats on their property. So I'm doing a quick little, again, this is a sample one that I've had for a while now. You can see stuff about me, and then you'd go into, a property summary on that property. Now there's not one loaded in right now, so that's why it's not showing up. But one of the really cool things about what this does is that this listing presentation tool, if you have gone in and used it yet, and I'm just going to click on this little pencil right here to show you the kind of the back end of it, there are a bunch of pages that come custom with the listing presentation. So as you can see on the left over here, and again, this is not a deep dive into Present as a whole, so I am skimming a couple of things just to showcase a couple features here. But if you look here, you've got some pages here that you can rearrange, that you can kind of do overviews of the actual listing itself. You've got side-by-side comparisons on the properties that you would have selected. So as you can see, a lot of this here is meant to be a listing presentation tool. However, what's really cool about this is that the custom pages feature allow you to create newsletters out of something like this. So it's sort of taking the tool that is meant for one thing and not even like using it for something different, but just using it for something really creative. We all want to have a newsletter tool. I've had so many conversations with agents over the past year or two about wanting a newsletter tool, and honestly not wanting to pay for it. So you've got features like Constant Contact, or what's the, not SurveyMonkey, MailChimp, Home Actions, right? All of these programs that we use for newsletters that are all pretty powerful and effective. However, they cost money, right? And sometimes we don't want to pay for that. And then even if we do, there's the whole issue of loading your clients into the tool. So then you got to figure that stuff out. Why not use a tool you already have complimentary, where all of your clients, if you've synced your contacts into Engage, they're already there. So why not leverage this tool for newsletters? So I just want to show you an example. I remember Judy Luptek, who does some of our trainings, made an awesome newsletter out of Moxi Present, and here we go. So I want to show you what this could look like, and I want to say this with the notice that our goal is to load this in to make it a brokerage-wide template that everybody here can leverage and just customize their own information. So we're going to look at this presentation that Judy created. Now, keep in mind, this is the exact same tool that we were just looking at for the listing, but Judy is now using this as a newsletter. So what she's done and what this is going to look like for you guys when you have access to it, and again, I know that our plan is to add it. I don't know if it's been added yet. Like I said, I'm winging it in the moment. But the idea here is to see, here is the template for you if you wanted to use this for a newsletter. So you've got, the way to add 3 different searches here. Oh, it is. Judy says it has been loaded into everyone's brokerage template. So Judy, we might kind of go over that at the end here. So thank you for letting me know that. So this is available to you guys right now. So what you would see is you'd see the header right here, and then the things that she's loaded in across the top here are 3 home searches. Homes for sale in area 1, homes for searches in area 2, and in area 3. As we scroll down, we've got a little graphic for healthy homes. We've got the brand new Coldwell Banker commercial that just launched.
Home is a place.
Oh, it's going to be loud, isn't it? It just launched last week, which is awesome. You've got the Blue Book presentation here, another graphic, and then, of course, instructions for local info and a featured property. So what she's done, though, because this can kind of look overwhelming, and you can kind of look at this and go, what is this actually going to look like? How, is this actually going to look good for my clients? What she's done is the second page of this newsletter, if you scroll down, is an example of everything. So she's gone in and created this newsletter as what it would look like in, I think, Montague or the Whitehall area. So those 3 searches, here they are. And she's even gone so far as to make 2 of them list searches where you can scroll down and see listings, and the middle one a map search. So you see here in the middle, you can see the map of Montague with all the listings, whereas for Twin Lake and Whitehall, you scroll down and you see the listings themselves. We got the video still, we got the book, that all looks the same. She's brought in an area website for community events. Now, community events are probably going to be a little bit different for the next few months, as they have been for the past few months, but this area allows you to add something like that, whether it's area events specifically, maybe it's one specific event, a virtual thing. We are gearing up to look at what our Homes for Dogs events are going to look like this fall. And they're not all going to look like in-person adoption events, but maybe you are doing a virtual fundraiser. You could put a link there for that. She's got a featured property here, and that's kind of the gist of it. So what she's done for this presentation is show you an example of what it's going to look like when it's complete. But on the first page, when you go in and make it, she's got all of the homes for sale here, or the instructions on how to add that stuff. So what I want to walk us through right now, guys, is walk through, and we're going to see if this works. We're going to walk through actually using this template. So what I've done here, so here's how we're going to do this. You're going to log in to Moxi, and you're going to click Present across this top tab right here. And when you get here, the first thing you're going to see is the page we're on now, which is My Presentations. These are presentations you would have theoretically created in the past for listings, for anything really, listings that you've done. But if you look up here, there's a tab that says Brokerage Presentations right next to My Presentations. And if we click on that, I'll look at Judy coming to the rescue. Right there is that template that we were just looking at. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click Add to My Presentations, because this is going to allow me to edit this presentation. So I'm going to click Add to My Presentations. It's going to do that. You see a little thing here that says added a few seconds ago. And then I'm going to go back to My Presentations. Again, I'm just swapping to the next tab up here. And boom, there it is. Regional Newsletter Template. So the way it's going to look is exactly what we just saw, where you have the editable page, and then you have the second page, which has the example. So we're going to want to make sure we edit that. So again, we're going to click on this little pencil right here to edit that presentation. Now, Judy has very graciously added, if you click on the second page here, she's added what it's going to look like with the text here that says delete this page. Because again, this is to show you what it will look like in the final product. But if you're in St. Augustine, you're not going to want a local West Michigan sample page attached to your presentation. So I would keep this here as you're creating your presentation. But once you're done with it, but when you're like, okay, I'm ready to send this out to my clients, make sure to delete this. So we're going to go back to this first page here, and we're going to follow these instructions. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, I want to, Judy, you're going to have to help me here because I want to make sure we can edit this page. And this is where I know that you created this template, which is why I'm asking you for it. Do we have to duplicate the page and then be able to edit it, or how's that going to look, Judy? I'm just clicking buttons until what I'm looking for comes up, so pardon me.
Yeah, I selected it as editable when I saved it, but obviously something wrong.
Okay, so we'll look at that in the back end, but what I'll do then is I'll show you guys how you can make these custom pages, because you might look at this
add page, you should be able to pull that page in now, I would think.
from the library.
Yeah, let's try that.
Brokerage pages. Yeah, I don't see it yet. So okay, so we just need to add we added the presentation, but we're going to make sure we add the page itself. So you might look at that page though and go, okay, that's not really, maybe you don't want that format. So we're going to go over how to just add a completely custom page. So you're going to click add page, and then you've got one of two options here. You can do add from library, and what that's going to look like is it's going to give you all of these options here. But also keep in mind, one thing we've added fairly recently, on the left here, if you click brokerage pages, all of the pages from the blue book, I can never say the blue book and the black book, from the listing presentations, every single page has been added individually for you here. So you could click on the blue book pages for our residential listing presentation and take any of these pages you want. You could go and look at the leading the way page and go, you know what? This leading the way showing, you know, all the different countries, that's the one that I want to add. You can add that page individually. We used to only have a handful of pages here. Now we've got all of them. So, you know, the big ones that I love the where buyer search page right here, because this shows statistically where buyers search for properties. So again, you know, you might have a client, and I'm just using this as an example. You might have a client say, you know what? I really, really want a newspaper ad. And you go, okay, well, we can do that, but if you take a look here at the statistics that we have on where buyers search, only 15% of people say they've searched for real estate from a print newspaper ad, whereas 95% say they've searched online, which is why I do focus a lot of my advertising online. Or something, or that's why we do open houses. You know, half of buyers say that they look at open houses. So you can use that statistic to your advantage. I also love the right next to that one. Where did it go? Most visited brand. I think this is just a great, you know, again, a good brand piece that shows Coldwell Banker versus all of our competitors online. I mean, we have almost double the impressions of the next highest company on the internet, which again just shows the advertising power that we have as Coldwell Banker. But all that to say, you can add any of those custom pages you want, or if we go back and we click add page, you can do create new. And you can build your own page however you want. And what's great is they give you a bunch of templates here to start with. You could literally start from a blank page here, or you could click this middle template here and click create. And then boom, it's literally going to template this for you, and all you have to do is drag and drop what you want where you want it. So maybe across the top here, I literally want to add the text. I'm going to put it bold. I'm going to make it middle. Let's see, can I even make it bigger? Probably do that as we go. I'm going to do, you know, Judys monthly newsletter. And here's the thing that I would really recommend you guys doing. And this is sort of taking a big step back when it comes to newsletters and marketing as a whole. It might sound silly, but people's eyes are drawn to big, bright, powerful images. So instead of just using text like this, look at how Judy has hers started. She has one of the graphics that has big, bold text right there. So that when I open this presentation, when I open this email, my eyes are drawn to something right away. So if you go to schmidtresources.com, we have so many graphics for you to leverage. So if you go to Schmidt Resources, you click on Michigan or Ohio or Florida, right here in the top row, social graphics. And we used to have that giant page of all the different graphics. We've organized for that for you guys now. We have everything categorized here. So maybe you want to click on this Thank You Heroes graphics, and you want to start your newsletter for August off with a thank you. You go in here and you take one of these graphics that thanks the medical workers, that thanks the frontline workers, that thanks the first responders, or the people who, you know, any of these graphics. You can start your newsletter off with this instead of just a simple text line. So you can download these graphics, and that's actually I'm going to take this one right here. I like this one. I like the big blue here. So I'm going to right click here. I'm going to save this to my computer, into my downloads folder. Then I'm going to go back to my present, And I'm going to keep that text line there, even though it's really dinky. But I'm going to click this plus right here on the right-hand side, guys. I'm going to click this plus. And I'm going to say I just want the one module. And again, I'm doing this for the first time as I go too. So bear with me if I look like I don't know what I'm doing. I promise that I mostly do. And I'm just going to click to upload a new photo here. And guess what? I'm just going to locate where I saved that. I saved that to my downloads folder. Click that thank you. Open that up. And it's right there. I just click add. And it's there. And if I think that's a little bit big, I can say, I can do fill, which is actually, it's going to look the same. So I actually want this to start my entire thing, so I'm just going to leave that there. And then I'm going to start to add all of the text and images that I want. So again, we are going to make that slide editable. That's the whole purpose of the slide. We just have to add a couple settings here. But you can go in and you can create your own page from scratch, or you'll be able to look to make one that mimics this page right here. And, you know, again, Moxi Mondays are meant to be kind of shorter, not so deep dives. We can do a longer form training that goes through this whole process. And I believe we might even have a couple that are on newsletters already. But Jody on the marketing team, Judy is one of our tech people, and Judy's the freaking best. But I always say their names at the same time, so I'm sorry, Judy. But we can do a longer training where Judy walks us through each step of this process. That says, okay, I'm going to take this graphic and I'm going to replace it with this. Because if you look at this final presentation, you can see all of the cool things you can add. You can add the home searches, you can add the videos, but at the same time, what's great is that once you've created this newsletter, the link is going to be the same forever. So obviously you can get it to be sent out monthly to people. But if someone says, hey, I never got, I got your newsletter last month, but I don't know if I saw it this month, you can say, oh, click on that link again. It's the same link. And what will happen is any changes you've made in the past few days will be reflected in that most recent presentation. You don't need to send a new link out. You don't need to do a whole new presentation. So you can go into your previous presentation, swap out some graphics. Maybe you want to swap out that featured listing and go on your way for it. So overall, guys, by the way, I know that this is one of those silly things. Always click save and name it what you want. I'm literally going to name this one Judys Newsletter, and I'm going to describe it as newsletter in training. And then I'm going to click, I would click save there. So again, guys, I do apologize for the sort of manic attitude, or I don't know, mood of this training. Like I said, we must have had some mix-ups, and our original trainer didn't make it to the presentation, so I've been kind of winging it as we go. We'll make sure to do a more in-depth training on the newsletter in the next week or two. We'll do that for you guys because it really is a really great tool. Here's what I want to say for you guys who are on here, though. I'm trying to get Zoom back up so I can stop sharing my screen and just kind of talk for a second. There. Oh, nope, I don't want to do a new share. I want to stop share. Here's one of the things I want to say quick is that we get stats every month on usage when it comes to Moxi as a whole, and the number of newsletters you guys are doing and the number of listing presentations you guys are doing is literally in the thousands every month. You are seriously taking advantage of Moxi Present and making presentations for listing appointments for your properties, and the newsletter tool as well. And it is so cool to see you guys take advantage of this. What I want to say from my end is, if you've done something, whether you're doing Moxi or you're doing a listing presentation for the first time in Moxi Present, or you've done something really cool that you were like, hey, I didn't even know I could do this, but I did it, let us know. Send anybody on the team a little note and send us the link. I've had a couple agents reach out and just say, hey, I just put together my first listing presentation. Do you mind looking it over and telling me how it looks? Do you mind looking it over and letting me know if there's anything missing? That's what we love to do. That's part of what we're here for. So if you're new to Moxi Present, please reach out and show us what you're working on, and we'll give you pointers or we'll give you feedback on how it's looking. The last thing I want to show, and I know that we sort of do some version of this every time we do a training, but keep in mind, guys, if you go to schmidtvideoclassroom.com, Actually, you know what? You can do that, but again, if you go to this link, this Moxi link, and I'm going to put this in the chat just so everybody can see it. And thank you, Tracy and Jeff, for saying that. I appreciate it, guys. If you click on this link in Moxi, there's so much here. Firstly, we have the Present webinar, the overall big Present webinar from Moxi themselves when we launched the tool. So if you want to go back, and again, we're going to continue to do trainings. We do at least 2 or 3 Moxi trainings every single week since launch. So we're going to keep that up. However, if you want to go back and watch the entire webinar on Moxi Present from square one, it's right here for you to watch. It's Present for Agents. You click on that and you can watch the entire thing. Additionally, though, if you go to the Moxi Mondays playlist right here and click Watch Here, every single Moxi Monday we've ever done is presented in this playlist for you. So you can see on the right-hand side here all of the different things that we have done in Moxi for these Moxi Mondays that are 20 to 30 minutes. The listing presentation comps, that's one that's specific to Present. I know we've got some more from down the road too. So leverage these videos. You know, I know it's a catch-22 with our training a lot where, well, you might not be able to make the training live, but then you might forget to watch the video. All we want to say is that these videos are here, but we are also here and the trainings are here. There is no lack of Moxi training available right now. So reach out, let us know what you guys want to do. And then I'd also say, too, please just keep an eye out for a specific training on these newsletters. We're going to get something like that together, and we'll do it even workshop style. So, oh, it's just my dog, and he's lying weird in the corner. We'll do it workshop style so we can show, now that it's in brokerage presentations, we can do it where as our presenter is going through, you have the ability to go through yourself side by side and make a presentation. The best part about Moxi Present, this will literally be the last thing I'll say, you can't break it. Go in and play around with it. It is meant for you to try to do something cool with. It's meant to be very easy or intuitive. So you literally can't break it. Go in and try doing something. The worst thing that happens is you have a presentation you don't use. That's it. The best thing that happens is you have a sweet new newsletter that you can send out to your clients for free and never have to pay for any of these programs. So that's what we've got today. Thank you again, guys. The videos that I just referred to, Cindy, they are in the Moxi Square on Schmidt Resources. So if you go to Schmidt Resources, you click on your region right here on Moxi Works. You can click on that and see all of the Moxi videos. Or, like I was saying before I interrupted myself, is if you just go to your search bar and you type in schmidtvideoclassroom.com. schmidtvideoclassroom.com. If you go there, this takes us to our training channel. So this is not just our Moxi videos, this is all of our videos. And we did a Moxi website rollout, I believe it was last Thursday for Premier and some of our Florida offices. If you click on this first playlist right here, Moxi Longform, you can see a brand new, from literally August 6th, and today's the 10th, a brand new long-form training all about the websites. So if you really want to dive in again, here is a training for you to take a look at that. So, okay, guys, let's wrap it up. Let you get on with your beautiful Mondays. I don't know if you're in. I'm not shaving my head again, Jeff. Tracy asks a question, do the listings update in the newsletter? So yes, Tracy, if we're looking at Judys Training right here, you'll notice how she has the homes for sale in Whitehall, Montague, and Twin Lake. All of these searches will automatically update without you having to do a thing. So as you can see here, the first listing is 4405 South Shore. I'm not sharing my screen. Duh, I'm not. See, you guys, I don't have it all together every day. Wow, all the questions started pouring in all of a sudden, which is great, guys. So I'll go through those questions real quick. If you notice right here, the first listing you see is 4405 South Shore. If that were to go sold or go pending, that would disappear from this search. But any other new listings would also appear in this search. So the only one that you would have to update specifically is if we scroll down, you can see Judy has this featured property square. This one you would have to manually update because you are specifically choosing this listing. But any of these things up here, any of these searches will automatically update. And you might even want to add a line right up here that says, click, look below for the newest live updates for listings in your area or something along those lines. Let me go back to these questions here because they started rolling in. I'm not shaving my head, Jeff. That's not a question. The listings do update in the newsletter. Yes, let me send Jenny. The long form training that I was talking about, I believe, was the one that you were actually on last week that I was doing for the websites. But I'm putting it in this chat anyway. Cheryl asks, can you add the where buyers come from? Yes, absolutely. I don't know if you're asking me to actually do it right now or if you're asking in general if you can. But yes, absolutely. What you'd want to do is you just click add page right here. Make sure I'm still screen sharing. Add page. I would click add from library because again, we have added this to our brokerage library. And then I'm going to click on brokerage pages right down here on the left, brokerage pages. And then that one in particular is from the Blue Book. So we're going to click Blue Book pages and then we just look for it. So you wanted to do the where buyers come from. Here it is right here, where buyers search. Now I can click on this and look at it if I want, or we obviously know what it looks like, so I'm just going to click add. So I've clicked add, and now if I go back to my presentation, there it is, right here, where buyers search. This will now appear as its own page within my listing presentation. And if I want to, I can drag and drop it in any order over here on the left-hand side. You can do whatever you want. And the cool thing about those, again, you can use those for listing presentations if you're going out on a listing appointment, or you can add that to your newsletter aspect of it. And all you can switch it out every month. Maybe this month you use where buyers search for properties. Maybe the next month you use our online syndication. I mean, I'll show you that one real quick. Again, add from library, go to brokerage pages, Blue Book pages, and let me see if I can find it. Where buyers search, Schmidt across the web. Why go digital, market expertise, it's here somewhere. Oh man, of course maybe it's under internet marketing or something like that. Yes, this is it right here, internet marketing. I love this graphic, showing your sellers where their listing is going to be syndicated to, which is awesome. And yes, and Carrie just brought a great point up. This is really like a preview for the future, but CBX, that tool offered from the brand where you can pinpoint buyers for a property, we're going to be able to integrate that directly into Present soon. And of course, we'll do a training specifically on that. You don't need to worry about it now, but it's just another integration we're going to be able to offer so that you can take the power of CBX and not even have to go to a different site, go to a different tool, go to a different anything. It's going to be right there within Moxi Present for you to use. So if there's any more questions, guys, please send them in the chat, or again, send me an email, or Carrie or Judy or Peter, anyone on your team. But yes, hopefully this was at least a little bit informational, the cool stuff you can do. Please keep your eye out for a training on the newsletters in the near future. Other than that, for real this time, thank you for your time and for your patience. Have a great rest of your Monday. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.